Hello, my name is Kay, and welcome back to another episode of House Flipper. This is our house that we bought to flip, and I am going to mow the lawn because that is what I said I would do. So, if you recall, in our last episode, we flipped our office. We have not sold it, but it is flipped. So, once this lawn is mowed, and you can see I'm just doing a great job at that. Once this is done, I will be right back and we will sell our house. I'll see you in a minute. Alright, the grass is mowed, everything looks much nicer in here, and just a little reminder, this is the house that we have flipped and we are going to sell. Our beautiful bathroom with the fern that went all over the house before we found a good place for it. Our living room, the little bedroom, and now it's time to sell the house. I am not going to submit this house for the garden contest because early on you don't have that much money. Like, we don't have much money to play with right now, and you can end up spending more money on the garden than what you end up profiting. So I'm not even going to do that right now. We are going to put the house on auction right now. And this screen will show us how much we bought the house for, which is a reminder, it was $35,761.41. Shows the parcel area, how big the house is, how many rooms it has, what our current budget is, and how long I've been working on the house for. And we did not participate in the garden contest, so we're going to put it on auction. And right here you will see all the potential buyers and their little comments. And some of them have kind of silly things, like some people want a sauna, which is great, but a sauna isn't really useful right here. Okay, so the Jantard family are glad that the house is very clean, and it's like a negative that the whole house is clean, very nice, which doesn't make sense. But right now we're not making a lot of profit on this flip. We're making $4,621.19. That's not great. I have unlocked the option to negotiate, so we can increase the payment by $1 all the way up to $10,423 for this house. I have not unlocked any perks that will up our chances of the negotiation going through, so I'm going to be kind of conservative here and propose to increase the payment by $3,000. And they might take it and they might not. Your offer is too low. I can sell you the house for $3,006 more. We'd be glad to live here, so they took it. Our negotiation went through, and our profit is $7,627.19. And now we will accept the offer. It's a little recap of the befores and afters. I think it looks a lot nicer than it did before. Clean, pretty. Oh, here we go, buyers. What's your impression after the first auction? If you would like to check some buyers' details before the next one, I saved your notes about them on the tablet. That is very useful. I can pull that up right now and just give you a little see here. So they do provide information on the families, a description of them, personal info, which is silly. They have not bought anything from us. We don't know what they like. We don't know their dislikes. We found out that this young person likes that they have a place to sleep. They like one bedroom. They like a desk near where they sleep, but they like shelving for their books. Dolan Trusk. A lot of players have some issues with Dolan Trusk because he tends to be at the top of all of their selling lists, and it's very difficult to kind of get him out of the list, but I've kind of found some ways around that, and as we sell more houses, I'll be able to elaborate that on a little bit more. But yeah, so it's a whole list. I'm not going to go through all of them right now. I could do a whole video on the prospective buyers at some point. But yeah, there's a few here, and these three, Lone Wolf 37, Ted, and Maria, are all from the Apocalypse DLC. They're will only buy bunkers. So this is, as you recall from our previous video, this is our office. We gave it a much needed facelift. Still very small, not much we can do about that. So we have a lot of assignments here. There's a bunch of gardening ones, but there's even more regular ones. And then there's even one for a bunker. But we're gonna hold off on the bunker right now. We're gonna hold off on these assignments for gardening. And I wanna see how much money we have. We have $68,163.43. So we may as well look at our browser and see what houses we could flip right now. There is a burned house that was in a fire. There is an abandoned house. This Almost Only a Garden came with the gardening DLC, and it's honestly a pretty bad property. It's a mess, and the house is even smaller than our office, I believe. It's really teeny tiny, and I might skip this one altogether because it's very difficult to make a profit off of this parcel. I have managed to do it, but it's not an easy task. We have a house after a flood, which, as somebody whose house has flooded many times in real life, that one always makes me cringe a little. A connoisseur's house. And we're getting into these ones that are a little more expensive. House with uninvited guests. Yes, so we are going to, let's see, the burned house. Let me just take a look at some of these pictures here. So it looks a bit bigger than the houses that we've been flipping so far. Let's see, the price is $36,657.88. We could easily flip this. We have more than enough money for a renovation here, so I think we're going to buy this. I will sell for renovation. A fire broke out at home, but the house did not suffer too much, and I estimate its condition as good. The house has 2 rooms, a kitchen, and a bathroom. Okay, that's already an improvement. So let's buy the house. Let's do this. Oh my goodness. Well, this house is a complete disaster. The yard looks horrible. The grass is all burnt. Ugh, we have a lot of work ahead of us on this one. I can just tell. Yikes. So let's go in and see what we're working with here before we do anything else. Oh my word. Okay, this door is actually just broken. Okay, so this is probably going to be the bedroom, I would wager, because this is a bed. It's burnt, but that was a bed. This is like a living room area. Oh goodness, can't even walk through here. Let me get rid of this lamp, because I don't like those lamps anyway. Get rid of this door. Okay, we have a little kitchen area in here. None of it is really salvageable except for this stove and this pan thing. Get rid of this. And here is the bathroom, which nothing is salvageable in here at all. Ugh. Oh my goodness. Yeah, even the ceiling is really dirty, so we're gonna have to clean all of that up. There is some stuff in the yard we need to clean up, but I'm gonna show you the first thing I do with this build. I'm not gonna do it yet because I have to clean up and dispose and sell things first. But I'm gonna block this wall off because I don't like having to go through the kitchen to use the facilities. So I'm gonna close this off. This will be a solid wall. And then I'm gonna open up this wall here. So it's more like an ensuite, which is kind of silly for such a small house, but we're gonna make it work. Let's see, what do we have out here? Oh, we have garbage out here too. Burnt gate. Burnt door, weeds aplenty. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I am going to mow the lawn, because if you look at that house, it is really damaged and we're going to have to repanel the entire outside. We don't have to, but I would like to. It'd make the house look nicer, wouldn't it? So yeah, it will be much easier to maneuver around the yard if we are working with a clean, freshly mowed lawn. So I'm gonna run around and do this very quickly and I will be right back. Okay, so the lawn is mowed and now I'm going to clean the outside of the house because this is pretty bad. Fortunately, we have a pretty good reach with our handy hose here. Clean all this up. Yep. I'm just gonna hose it on down. Now there is something showing up. Is this garbage? There's something showing up right here. Yeah, there was a piece of garbage that was just kind of like floating, and I saw it on the mini map, but I couldn't see much else. Now, we still are unable to spot all of the dirt on our mini map, and that's kind of problematic. It's kind of frustrating because we might miss some, but overall, I think we'll do a pretty good job. Because if it's not showing up now on these really dirty walls, once we put paneling down, it will be much easier to spot the dirt. Ugh. I lived in an apartment, the apartment where I mentioned before in a previous video about how water came through the ceiling. Oh, wait! This story will have to wait. We have a new skill point. For cleaning! I was just talking about this. We're actually going to do the see all dirt on the mini map because we're going to need it for this house. I still am really working towards this multiple trash disposal. We will get there. But right now, this has to be our priority. And we'll get a new perk after 522 cleaned elements are trash disposed. Yay! So back to my little story here. I mentioned that I lived in a really bad apartment in a really bad area for a little while. And that in the apartment above mine, the toilet was leaking, and it leaked on me while I was taking a bath. Well, that same apartment, the tenant who lived there before I did, had a fire in the apartment. They were making Jiffy Pop popcorn, and the apartment suffered a lot of smoke damage. And unfortunately, when I moved in, they had not cleaned everything up. I opened up the medicine cabinet for the first time, and it was full of soot. It was really, really disgusting. I'm just glad I don't live there anymore. And I think that takes care of the outside. So I am going to bring out our selling gun first, because we can sell some of this destroyed stuff. We won't make a lot of money from it, but I would rather sell it first than dispose of it and not receive any money. Because you can receive money. Let's see. Literally dirty dishes, not just like, oh, they're a little dirty, we need to wash the dishes. No, there is no saving that. I'm not going to keep this hood. I don't need it. And there goes the bathroom. I am going to sell the sink hookup, and I'm going to sell the toilet hookup because I can always buy them again if I want to, but I do not want them right now. I want to be able to decide and choose where I want them to be. This is just all garbage in here. So, a rotten chair. Sell this light. I don't like these big lights. There's nothing inherently wrong with them, but they take up a lot of screen space, and I have difficulty not hitting my head on them, so we're just going to get rid of those right away. Oh, that's right. I was wondering why I have to click on each thing individually, and it's because I do not have that perk. I am so spoiled by my other save files where I already have the perk you can clean up multiple pieces of trash at once. And as expected, there are some broken, destroyed outlets here that need to be repaired, and that's great because that will help our handyman skill. All right, and there's another one over here. Take care of this. That is so much faster, isn't it? Can you see the difference? I can. And it's wonderful. All right, this room is pretty dirty. And now we can see all of the dirt on our mini map in the top right-hand corner. Depending on how long this takes me, I might split this video into 2 parts. Well, not this video, this flip. Because we have a lot of cleaning ahead of us, and I don't know how much time is going to leave for a flip before the video just gets to be a bit too long. I'm trying to keep these videos relatively short because I know everyone is busy and not everybody wants to sit through a humongous video, and I totally get it. If I had it my way, I would make really long videos, but it's kind of inconvenient to watch, and it's also kind of inconvenient to edit. I'm gonna fix this up. It's interesting that there's two different kinds of outlets in the same house. You would think that they would all be consistent, but I kind of like that they're different. It has a sense of realism where not everything in a house is matchy-matchy. Alright, we're just flying along here. Now you can do these one at a time. One at a time as you put in the wires, but I'm just like, why not just hold down the button and get all of them at once? Alright. I think I'm going to open up this kitchen too. I think I'm going to get rid of some walls in there. It just seems so closed off, and I don't really like that. I want it to be a lot more open. I mean, when you're living in such a small area, you really want to open things up as much as possible. Otherwise, it just seems kind of cramped and squashed, and I am not about that. I might dispose of this stove because we can get some $168 for that, and I can always do something else for a kitchen if I want. But there's no need to keep that stove. It just isn't. Alright, I'm going to clean up the ceiling here. The nice thing is if I tore down this wall, it will remove the dirt. But if a wall needs to be plastered, you must plaster it before you demolish it. Otherwise, it will show up that there's still holes in the wall, and that is a huge pet peeve of mine. I'm going to start this demolition here. So I'm going to keep this room the same size. This bathroom here. I'm just going to change where the door is, because I don't want you to have to go through the kitchen to use the bathroom. That's just kind of yucky. Is the dirt in this corner? Is that why it's being silly? No, I just cannot get to this dirt. Well, I'm not going to worry about that at the moment. Now, let's see here. I did talk about taking this wall out. I'm going to do that first. Move the light switch so we don't have to worry about that falling down, because it will. But this does not need to be a separate room. It's so small. It's just kind of unnecessary. I did live in a different apartment that had like a galley kitchen kind of like this, and I wish it would have been open. I do. So maybe that's why I always want to open everything up. All right. We're getting much better with our demolition. There we go. Yep, and I still lost some light switches here. And outlets. And sometimes they get kind of stuck in the floor, which is why I try to remove them first if I can. All right. Almost done with this part. And as I mentioned in the previous videos, the early houses we get are not going to be anything grand by any stretch of the imagination. They're very small, they're very tiny, they're definitely cramped. But as we can afford nicer ones, we will have more room and more options. Okay, somehow that knocked down that light switch anyway. See, that already looks better. This is about the size of our office that we just renovated, but we have this extra room here. It's not humongous, but it will do. Now I'm trying to figure out where this wall is. Okay, this is this wall, I believe, but I'm going to smash it just to make sure. There's a lot of that. I don't have the best spatial relations as far as being able to tell where things are. I bet this one will go into the next room, if I had to guess. It's not that expensive to buy a wall, so I'm not very worried about it. Yeah, okay. I really dislike that, yes, this wall is flush, but then this wall has to jut out a piece. I don't like that. It's just a preference, and I don't enjoy that. But, you know, what are you going to do? So this is going to be our bathroom. We're opening this wall up so that you do not have to go through the kitchen area. You can have an ensuite. And this kind of reminds me of an apartment that I lived in that that's how one of the apartment bathrooms was where I lived. It was a tiny little apartment, very small. It was the really bad one, but you had to go through the bedroom to use the bathroom. I always thought that was just kind of weird, but it's realistic. So here we go. This is going to be our bathroom. We kept the shower hook up here. And I could have kept the toilet hook up here, but maybe I don't want it there. Maybe I want it over here. I have a light switch over here I'm going to move. I prefer to have my light switches when you walk into a room like this. You walk into a room and you turn around, and I like to put them on the right. There's no particular reason why. It's just something I like to do. Now, after we flip this house, we're probably going to have to do some job assignments because we are not making as much money as I would like, and it will take a good while before we do make a substantial amount of money. I don't know where this dirt is, and it's going to drive me bananas. Well, I can't be bothered worrying about that at the moment. I just can't. I'm gonna get rid of this door as well. Take a look at the outside here. Yeah, we're definitely going to put some paneling up here so it doesn't look so bad. I don't like how awful it looks right now. I think I'm gonna start putting down some flooring. So I'll go to the store. For panels. Oh, I really love these ones, but we do not have a lot of money right now, so we're gonna sort by price ascending. And I just used this one, I believe. I want to keep it pretty inexpensive. So as much as I would love some of these, I just have to hold off. I have to hold off for right now. I will get there. But I am going to go with perhaps let's go with this one, this floor panel dark. It has a little more character than the floor panel brown. I'm not going to put down tiling for the kitchen. Yeah, there we go. It has a little more character. I'm going to go through here and... No, I'm not sure why there is tile right there because of where the door is. I'm not sure, but I'm not going to mess with that. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to put down the floor and move on. All right, we don't want to go in there yet because there's no need. Alright, I am going to get this little strip. For some doors you need to worry about it, for some you do not. And for our bathroom, let's look at our bathroom tiles we're going to use on the floor. Floor tiles. I've already used these white tiles, $4.21. What can we get for $4.21 that has a little more personality, but isn't like really obnoxious? Well, we have some good options here. I like the hexagons an awful lot. Alright, now we're starting to get into the more expensive ones. But it is a small area. So I wouldn't feel too badly about spending a little bit more money for this bathroom, just for the flooring. Let's see. I really don't like these ones at all. They just look like they need a good scrub. I'm not a fan. And I think it'd be a little ridiculous to use marble in here. So that's not an option. All right, now we're getting into like the really expensive ones. Yeah, they go up to $10.94. We're not gonna go that route. Maybe we will go, I like these ones, but I've just used them recently. You know what, we're gonna go do something very different. These Barcelona ones. I really like these. They're very neutral. They almost kind of look like wood. Ah, that's gorgeous. And they don't cost that much for such a small area. All right, so this is gonna be the bathroom in here. This is gonna be the bedroom. And this is gonna be the living room and kitchen area. And, oh, here we go. Something else to dispose of, that's fine. I think that I'm going to leave the video here, as much as I hate to, but I'm gonna have a part 2 that I upload the same day so that you're not gonna have to wait for the second half of this. But right now it's going to take quite a long time to go through everything. It'll probably take me about an hour to flip this. So I'm gonna leave it here, but part 2 will be up right after this. So if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like it, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and ring that notification bell so you'll be notified when a new video comes out. Please leave your comments and suggestions down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.